we're going to do this painting almost entirely in acrylics again, build up all of the base and then use some of the stronger oils on top at the very end to finish off and do the details and get the strength and vibrance of colour intensity. I'm using a pre-prime canvas again with a dark acrylic primer. Then I'm going to use the set of acrylics I've just shown you, a very limited palette of acrylics to start off with just cobalt blue, cerulean blue, Prussian blue, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, cadmium red, rose white, a little emerald, and sometimes a touch of black, although I'm not very keen on using black, but just for an underpainting shouldn't make much difference. All the rest of my greens can be made by mixing those blues and yellows together. In this case I don't really think it matters where you start. I prefer to start with my mid-tones and then work towards the lights and darks normally, which is why in a landscape I usually start with the horizon, which is usually the mid-tones. In this case though, I'm just going to build up one colour next to another to establish the differences between them and to establish their relationships. You'll see I'm working over the whole canvas at once, and doing this high-speed filming you can see the way that I actually work. No one part is finished before another, no one flower is actually completed, but each colour is compared, each shape is placed a bit like a jigsaw. We paint the right colours in the right tones, in the right places, in the right shapes, and the whole thing just gradually appears. Faces appear, flowers appear. It's a lovely... You've seen the palettes that I use, so hopefully you can understand the colours I'm mixing now, especially having seen some of the earlier paintings where I've been mixing similar colours. Flesh tones aren't just pink, they aren't just red and white. They're made up of different colours reflecting from things around them as well. In these faces you'll see me adding cerulean blues and light greens and all sorts of colours in the shadows and in reflected lights. Even orange under the faces and cadmium red under and around the chins and places. Even some Indian red or burnt sienna. It's not just one simple set of colours. We have to very carefully look for those colours and how they're mixed and how they work one to another. So rather than just keep talking, I'm going to put some music over the next section and let you just watch the painting create and appear on the canvas.
Well, here we are nearing the end of the painting, and as you can see, we've worked right through from our underpainting and mid-tones to the very vibrant colours of pure palette. We've put on the pure lemon yellows, pure cadmium oranges, pure cadmium reds and so on. Now remember, we can't go lighter than white. You could say we can't go darker than black, but I actually never use black. To my knowledge, the Impressionists were the same. They banned black from their palette. Black is a dead inert colour, although, having said that, there were always exceptions to any rule, and I mentioned the Rembrandt palette earlier where we use black as a blue. In my case, to make a dark colour or to make a black, I use the deepest blue we can, which is Prussian, and to that I can add the other warm colours to make it a warm dark or a cool dark. So Prussian blue and burnt sienna, or raw sienna, or even alizarin will give a tremendously dark colour, and you can work to a warm or dark shadow with that. The white's the same. Anything light would be reflecting light, even white paper, so you never actually have pure white. There'll always be daylight, sunlight, artificial light, something shining on that white to give it a tint. Here I've actually used some pure white at the very end on some of the daisies, but normally we'd always use a slight tint into the white. There'll always be a very slight colour showing in some way to give a tint of colour. Well, there we go. Cheers. A little bit of whiskey left at the end to finish off. Enjoyed that painting. Nice and vibrant again, and I hope the figures are lively enough for you. There we are. Oils over acrylic again. Children in the flower bed here.